And just like that, we are live. Ooh, Tima, we live.
We live, honey. Welcome. Welcome to the live, everybody.
Yes. Welcome,
Good
welcome
morning.
to the live, everybody. I know that you are probably like, what in the world is going on? We are so excited. My name is Tiffany Bethia, and we're going to fully introduce ourselves in a moment. But we wanted to have this conversation today to really start a series of conversations about the layoff crisis, what's happening here in our country, in our economy. And we're not just going to talk about the problem, we're going to talk about the solution and a way that we have partnered together to really bring a holistic solution to the marketplace. So, Tima, let's start by introducing ourselves. You wanna kick us off?
I would love to. I would love to. Good morning. Happy Friday Eve, as we call it over here in my world. I am Natima Fisher, affectionately known as Natima Cherie. I have been in this space that we are going to discuss with you today for almost 20 years. Really proud of the work that I've done. I have built a reputation in my market for being the career matchmaker. But what I really am is a talent experience and workforce strategist. I help organizations, big and small, as well as job seekers, to understand the market, to unpack the market, and how their skills will fit. I love consulting, I love coaching, but more importantly, I love working with the person, not just the professional. Again, I've been doing this for 18 years, and I mean everything, sis. Like resume writing, career coaching,
Yeah.
upskilling, skills assessment, all
Yeah.
the things that fall in job seeker services I have provided. And then on the corporate side, working in house to bring talent in. So, working with
Mhm.
hiring managers and key stakeholders, doing a lot of headcount planning, workforce planning, understanding what business needs look like.
Yeah.
Not just today, but what is it going to look like in 6 months, 6 years?
Mhm.
And so having my hands on the pulse of what talent is in demand, what talent
Mhm.
will be in demand, and
Yeah.
where are some opportunities for people who have baby boomer skills, as we call it, to
Mhm.
still thrive in this competitive workforce. So, as
Mhm.
you can tell, I'm passionate about it. I love this work.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So I'll let you introduce yourself, and we'll jump in.
No, I love it because the passion is oozing out of you. And I
Yeah.
have personally learned so much about HR as someone who really started working for herself pretty early at the end of my 20s and didn't have a whole bunch of experience.
Yeah.
I've had more experience working for myself than working for others. So there was a lot I just still didn't know. And so
Mhm.
I've learned a lot about so many parts of HR, even when you weren't even directly teaching, when you were just talking, I'm like, let me write that down. Like, oh, that's good, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I
So I
appreciate that.
love that.
Yeah.
And y'all, this is the beautiful thing. Like, this is a professional collaboration, but also this is, when I say this is my sister,
Yes.
okay, I mean, like, so I'm so excited about this collaboration, and so I
Yeah.
know we'll get into that, but you guys are gonna see, like, you're gonna be able to tell the closeness, but also the two different skills that we bring together, that I think
Absolutely.
God really called us to bring together, literally, for such a moment as this. And so, as you can see, she is the all things HR expert, got 5,000 degrees, always been in school for a long. I've known this woman for almost 20 years.
Yes. Yes.
This has been in school for quite a few of those
The
years.
whole time, pretty much. Yes. Professional
Some
student. Yeah.
degree. Or certification, but I love that she is. So I know firsthand how passionate she is to not only do the work but also to study. And then on the completely other side of the world,
Yeah.
am a brand strategist that has been working with subject matter experts, thought leaders, speakers, coaches on monetizing their experience for literally almost 20 years. My passion has been showing that person. The way that I've been saying it lately is, whatever gift you have in the
Mhm.
world, whether you're a financial expert or a marriage coach, whatever expertise you have,
Mhm.
it's your gift. And just like if you went to the store and bought a birthday gift for someone, more than likely you wouldn't just give it to them like the way you got it from the store. You would
Right.
package it. You'd probably put it in a bag and some tissue paper, or you put it in a really nice box and
Yeah.
give it away in that way. Well, your gift needs to be packaged as well before you try to sell it and give take it to the marketplace. And so that's what I really do as a brand strategist, because I feel like that word is almost like, what does that really mean, right? Like, I'm a
Yeah.
brand strategist, but it's really showing you how to figure out who's your target audience, who do you
Mhm.
serve, what of your gifting is something that is going to be in demand that people
Mhm.
will buy, and how
Yeah.
do we package it? What should we call it? How should we price it? All of those things. And then what does it look like to launch it in the market? And so you're going to see why, like, our two skills coming together is just
It's dynamic.
top tier, right?
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, yes, it is. And, and
Yeah.
what I think I love most about what you bring to the table is not only do you have the experience and the success stories, but you're constantly growing. You're constantly changing as the market changes. You're always staying abreast of what's new, what's radical, what's trending, and then offering different options to your clients. I think
Yeah.
that is something that is very unique about your approach to the market, because I've seen brand strategists and
Mhm.
practitioners who kind of have one package. It becomes
Mhm.
a one size fits all. And
Yeah.
our organizations are not all the same. Our
Right.
brands are not all the same. And
Yeah.
so, as she said, you will be in good hands. And we are so excited to share more with you. But
Yeah.
this is a duo that you are sure to get top tier service from. So yeah.
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 And together we are the co-founders of Navicore.
Navicore. Woo, that name sounds so good.
Oh, I think this is the first time we're like really sharing our baby with
Yes.
like the world. Like, it
Yeah,
feels really good.
it does.
Navicore is a collaborative project and community that we have created for transitioning employees who maybe have experienced recent or even sudden job loss and are trying
Yeah.
to figure out what to do next.
Mhm.
We have come together to really create a systematic path. Number one, a holistic approach,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
to dealing with what's happening in your heart, what's happening in you, right? We're not going to just
Right.
ignore what happened and just jump out there. Let's
Right.
really deal with this major loss that
Yeah.
you're experiencing, but
Mhm.
also figure out what's the best way to turn this into opportunity. What's the best way to now surge a new path forward? And at some point on the journey, you get to the place where you decide, do I want to go after a new job, or do I want to create a business? And that's where you get to choose from both of our expertise. So I'm probably getting a little bit ahead of myself, Tima, because I
No,
get
that was
excited.
perfect. That
Okay.
was perfect.
So let's really talk about the problem first. And I
Yeah.
know this lands heavily in your wheelhouse, but I think even just average Americans who have been watching the news, like, that was me, like, oh my God, what's happening, right? So
Right.
can we just talk about like what's going on and the crisis that we're really facing in our country?
Yeah, and what I have to be fair and say, and I'm just going to be completely transparent, moving
Yeah.
my own personal bias and opinions of our leader aside, a lot of this layoff, the layoffs that we're experiencing, it happened long before the executive orders. We were seeing the downsizing, especially in the tech
Yeah.
space. Because of the changes in AI. AI is really sweeping the landscape of technology. It's changing the way the world does business. And
Yeah.
so, unfortunately, AI is replacing a lot of functional roles that used to be
Mhm.
significant or critical, can
Yeah.
now be done in less time,
Yeah.
right? With less
Yep.
resources. And
True.
so we were already starting to see some of the shift in the market. We were starting to see some of the changes in the
Yeah.
tech space. But here's the thing that's unique, sis, it's moving beyond technology. We're seeing it
Mhm.
in healthcare. We're
Yes.
seeing it in federal. We're seeing it,
Absolutely.
in nonprofit,
Yeah.
through education and all the changes that are happening there. And
Mhm.
so this is something that we started discussing before the conversation
Mhm.
became popular, because
Mhm.
again, we care about people. Um,
Yeah.
Now, more recently, obviously, responses to executive orders,
Yeah.
responses to change, economic downturn, all of these foreshadowing is what I'll say. And all of
Mhm.
these new changes, organizations have to pivot quickly. And
Yeah.
usually, when there's a quick pivot, that
Mhm.
means mass layoff.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
was impacted by a
Yeah.
layoff. back
Yeah.
in February. And
Mhm.
so I know what this life quake feels like, using your word. And Tiffany
Mhm.
will share more about the life quake and how we are here to support you in that. But I knew what that felt like personally.
Yeah.
Um, I began to question myself. Was it my
Mhm.
skills? Did I not have enough credentials and degrees?
Yeah.
Was there someone more experienced than me? Do I have to be
Mhm.
concerned about this long term? Will AI always replace the
Right.
work that I do? And I know if I'm thinking about that, someone who works frontline in
Mhm.
the talent space, I know there are millions of Americans thinking the
Yes.
same thing. Is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
me? What did I
Mhm.
do wrong? How can I rebound from this?
Mhm.
And so when we think about, I'll make this last comment before coming back to you, Tip, but when we think about the needs of job seekers,
Mhm.
it's not just comprehensive or, practical job search needs. We
Mhm.
need to reset. Our
Yes.
nervous systems need a reset. It's a lot of
Yes.
trauma. It's a
Yes.
lot of inconvenience. It's a lot of
Yeah.
change. And if
Yeah.
you are not a change agent or you're not used to change, I
Yeah.
know you were like shaken. And so,
Absolutely.
like you said, the problem is organizations have released employees some 20, 30 years,
Mhm.
some shorter intervals or shorter tenures, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean the impact is not great.
Mhm.
And so I
Mhm.
think that is the biggest problem, is that the world will tell people, just
Yeah.
go find another job.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Just use this
Yes.
as an opportunity to start a business. What does that look like if I'm
Mhm.
bruised and wounded
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the job loss? So that's the
Yeah.
problem we want to first talk about. But Tiff, I know you have some things to contribute because we've had conversations and the people need to hear it. So
We have, and everything you're saying, I tend to put a face, because
Mhm.
here's the thing that we have to be so careful of too, right? Is you can hear these numbers and these statistics, but these are people. Every single number is a person who
Yep.
may be a father, a mother, a husband, a wife, somebody who's got to keep up a home, someone who may be taking care of sick. Every number is a person in a story. And so I think what hit me was, that I'm a coach. I coach
Mhm.
hundreds of women. And I was on a call with one of my coaching clients who has
Mhm.
been in health. You talked about healthcare, in the
Mhm.
healthcare space, working for this company for over 20 years, and was very suddenly, I think, like the whole department let go.
Mm.
And this is a woman who is a strong woman of faith, is very resilient, is just a powerful woman, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just saw the impact it had on her. I saw how much this job loss was such a disruption. And the reality is, she was already coaching with me on how to build a business. So she already had put some
Yeah.
seed in the ground to begin thinking about, another stream of income and using her, turning her passion into profit. She was already in that space. And yet, this job layoff, so sudden, was just literally, like you said, the term that came to mind was, oh my God, this is a life quake.
Yeah.
Because it's we spend the majority of our day working. It's
Yes.
where we, get the income to sustain our life. So the food and the
Mhm.
travel and the home and
Mhm.
all of these things typically come. And so when that is especially suddenly gone, it
Mhm.
can just feel like the ground beneath you
Yep.
has moved. And what I have found when I've experienced life quakes is that it makes everything feel unstable, even stuff that are more firmly planted,
Yep.
because you are moving, because you feel unsettled. Everything suddenly starts to look like, is it
Yeah.
okay? And
Right.
so I love what you said around, I've already seen, job fairs and different things that I think are wonderful and absolutely needed. But
Mhm.
what I know our culture tends to do is so focus on like do activities,
Mhm.
and we
Mhm.
don't focus on like the person and the becoming. What if this is an opportunity? And I know that sounds difficult, especially when you're in that moment. But
Yeah.
what if this is a divine opportunity to reset,
That part.
and go in a greater direct. What if it's a divine disruption? I
Come
can't
on.
tell you how many stories of not only people who went into business, but also career seekers who went into better jobs who
Hmm.
said, I would have never moved had I not experienced that
Yeah.
disruption. And so we
Yes.
want to reframe this kind
Hmm.
of crisis that's happening and saying, hey, 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 let's take a moment to pause and reset and center,
Hmm.
because this could actually be the best thing that has ever happened for you and allow you to
Yes.
go forward in a better direction.
Oh, come on, somebody. See, I didn't know we was gonna go there so early, and I love this for us. I love this no because, honey, I was over here sitting on my faith button the whole time. Like, soon as she say go, I'm pressing it, and that's one of the things I think I'm so excited about this collaboration is that it is a God led, spirit led organization, and I know that seems scary when you use those terms in a
Yeah.
corporate space, but
Yes.
I believe it is necessity, especially for those who are connected, who
Mhm.
have that divine connection. Because when you understand how all things work for your good,
Come
you
on.
are going to look at the outcome differently. You're going to look at the season you're in differently. You're going to focus more inward and say, okay, where is opportunity?
Yeah.
Not only for greater impact in me, but how can I
Mhm.
use this to impact the world around me?
Mhm.
And you said something a moment ago that I wanted to respond to. And I lost my thought that quickly, but that's okay because
It's gonna come back.
I have plenty of them. It will come back.
Yeah.
But when you think about our approach and why it's unique, and that's something I just want to emphasize for the entirety of this live stream, is how we're going to be set apart from
Yes.
other organizations and other
Yeah.
companies doing the same thing. The first thing I recognized in building this collaboration is that we weren't going to focus on the parts of the problem that invoke fear,
Mhm. Mhm.
because that is going to be the enemy to progress. That is going to be the enemy to your destiny, is you sitting and being captivated and anchored
Yeah.
in fear. You're
Mhm.
not going to move forward. You're
Mhm.
going to revert back, right? Like,
Mhm.
send us back to Egypt. We don't want that. We want
Yep.
what's ahead. And
Yeah.
so when you see a lot of these organizations, they are branding fear.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
perpetuating the fear of the unknown, of the what if. What
Mhm.
if it happens again? What if it doesn't happen to you? And so
Mm.
we want to infuse the faith in there.
Yes.
What
Yes.
if everything works out for you? What if everything that you should have been doing the last 5, 7 years is your opportunity to do it now?
Yeah.
Some of us have been sitting on gifts in corporate spaces that were never intended to be there. Okay.
Oh, what? Listen, I'm just saying, and to your point, there's a lot. I think our tendency. So, what fear? I'm just
Hmm.
talking about me. I'm not gonna talk about y'all. When I have found myself losing major contracts, losing major income, there
Hmm.
is a fear response that makes me kind of have a knee jerk reaction.
Yep.
And I think about a couple of years ago when I lost, I mean, a huge, huge part of my income. And because I am, an entrepreneur, I know how to make money.
Hmm.
So I put something together and okay, sure, knee jerk. But I realized it wasn't sustainable.
Come
And
on.
so I found myself in a place of still having to go back
Mhm.
and and create something that would be sustainable. And so I think, what our hope is that this can also be an opportunity, not for you to just knee jerk, just go apply, just take anything,
Right.
but to really be intentional
Intentional.
about your next steps forward so
Yeah.
that yourself in 5 years, yourself in 10 years will say, thank you.
Thank you. Right.
You
Oh,
know?
I love
Yeah.
that.
And not, oh
Mhm.
my God, what were you thinking?
How did we get here again? Right. Right.
Here. Right. And be
Exactly.
looking again in 12
Yeah.
months or 24 months
Mhm.
because maybe the intentionality, wasn't there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sis, you are, honey, listen, you getting me excited, okay? And I'm already a part of this, but I think our opportunity to help people to reimagine their next chapter, that's so important to
Mhm.
me. Our
Mhm.
vision for our own life gets lost in supporting the visions of others. And even if
Yeah,
entrepreneurship is not your path,
exactly.
there is still a way for you to forge a future for yourself
Mhm.
that fulfills your own purpose,
Yes.
that that ties you to destiny and
Yeah.
gives you opportunity to impact the lives of others. Because some
Mhm.
of us have been sitting in cubicles for 10 years praying and
Yeah.
asking God to open doors, and
Yeah.
this life quake is the door. This is the door you've been
Yep.
asking for. This is the opportunity for you to pivot and
Yeah.
for you to kind of
Mm.
stand on faith and say, okay, these are the things that I'm supposed to do next. And there
Mhm.
may be a company for you. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that everybody's going to pivot to entrepreneurship. There
Mhm.
may very well be a company that is going to give you everything you've been praying for, an
Mhm.
opportunity to serve others,
Mhm.
to be able to lean into skills. So, can I just pause real quick? Because the HR practitioner in me just jumped up. I'm like,
Come on, let her out.
I'm gonna let her speak. But I've been talking and helping with resume writing, helping with career coaching as we're building this and as we're getting this
Yeah.
off the ground. And majority of the people I've talked to, when I ask them about their skills and how they
Mhm.
use them in their last role,
Mm. Mhm.
the
Mhm. Mhm.
underutilization is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you are still paying student loans that are no longer being supported by federal programming?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you mean it, and you're not even using 50, 60% of them in your
Yeah.
career?
Yeah.
Oh no, Navicore is going to help with that. We're going to help with that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want you to flourish wholly. We want all of you to show
Mhm.
up in your
Mhm.
next opportunity. So I had to
Absolutely.
insert that, sis, because that,
I mean, and if we're going to go there,
yeah,
let's go ahead
please.
and go there.
Go ahead. I'm in
You
the car.
know, in a capitalist society,
Mhm,
you are going to maximize wealth when you
mhm,
really lean into your skills and your expertise.
mhm.
Like at a core level, when people are like, how do I win at this game? Like if I was playing Uno, if I was playing, checkers, I would need to understand how to win at that game.
Yeah,
What do the rules say? And even if
yeah.
I don't like the game, if I want to play it, if I gotta win, I still need to understand the rules. Period.
Right, right.
So I'm not here to debate capitalism because that's another conversation. What I'm saying is that is the society we are currently in. And
Mhm.
so, inside of that society, if you're like, man, how do I maximize my earning potential? It is literally through your skills and your expertise, whichever direction you go. And what I heard when you were talking was that this is really a both and world.
Yes. Come on.
Because
Yes.
as I've evolved, I have shifted away from a more scarcity mindset of either or, which sure,
Mhm.
sometimes is the case, but there are way more moments that are a both and that whether we realize it or not. And I think
Mhm.
that for that person who's a transitioning, employee, there's a world where they, go through the program and they are working with you on finding that next career opportunity, and they are working with me to say, but I still on the side,
Yes.
I want to have a job that I love. I do.
Mhm.
I want to be a full-time employee, honey. Be clear. But on the
Mhm.
side, I would love
Mhm.
to make additional income through my expertise so I
Yes.
can delete the words I can't afford it from my vocabulary forever.
Come on. Come on.
And can I, real quick,
Please.
there has been no better time as somebody
Mhm.
who's been in this space for the past 20 years and really seen the boom and the birth of the information boom like we see it with
Mhm.
courses and coaching. And there are literally so many ways to make money online now that didn't exist when I got my degree
Same. Mhm.
20 years
Mhm.
ago. Oh, that hurts. Uh-huh. It's 20 years this year. Yep. Ooh, uh-huh. Right. And so the internet has been the great equalizer. And I
Mhm.
don't think that if you're not the, digital marketing nerd person that I am, you just genuinely may not know that there's
Mhm.
a gold mine in front of you. Hey, go get
Yes.
your piece of gold. When I
Mhm.
talk to people now and they're like, oh, I'm just struggling, I'm not making enough, I'm like, you must not know about the gold mine in front of you. I'm
That's
assuming you
it.
just don't know
That's
because
it.
I think if you knew, you'd go get your piece of gold. So listen, there's something that you know how to do. It's probably come so naturally to you, you don't even realize that we would pay you to learn that.
Exactly.
There's a
Exactly.
course, there's an ebook, there's something in you that you can create. And while you work your job that you love, that
Hmm.
Natima is going to help you find,
Yes.
that we can still get 1,000, 2,000, and those are low numbers to be
Yeah.
honest from what people are
Right.
making. Like I'm keeping it low for the people who are like just trying to fathom it, but the reality
Right.
is, like I just woke up to four figures this morning.
Come on. Come on.
I'm not
Testify.
telling you what I'm just being honest. And so
Hmm.
there's a both and world where
Hmm.
you can go say, I do want to, okay, great. I'm going to let this help me find a new job, but I'm going to
Hmm.
go ahead and create me a little ebook or something on the side,
Yes.
little course,
Yes.
and let that money roll in as well. Because if you've got children, if you've got debt, if you've got things you need to take care of, the gold mine you are looking for, it's the
Hmm.
internet.
Hmm. If you plan to live here in your 60s, okay, because we see what's
Mhm.
happening with Social Security. But like you said, we'll
Absolutely.
leave the politics out of this because I can
Mhm.
talk about that. But I so love that you are pulling people into that discussion and inviting them to think about that because like you said, many of us have not been introduced to that because we have been conformed to think that the American dream is go to college, work a
Yeah.
job for 50 years, retire and hope to travel with
Yeah.
your loved ones. And we haven't considered the possibility of entrepreneurship. We have not considered the possibility of hustling our hobbies, if you will, or turning our passions into profit
Yeah.
while still pursuing our career objectives in a corporate space or non-corporate space, wherever you desire to be. Um, One of the things that I think is so key about what Navicor is going to do for not just for job seekers, but people seeking purpose and destiny. I just really want to speak to you because this is going to be for you too. You
Yes.
may already be, you've survived the layoffs, right?
Mhm.
You are
Mhm.
still
Mhm.
gainfully employed, but you are sitting in your office or your home office or your cubicle, and there
Yeah.
is something stirring on the inside of you as you listen to this conversation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm employed, but I still feel like they're talking to me. I
Mhm.
believe that there's more I should be doing with my gifts and talents. There's
Yeah.
more that I should be producing, more that I should be contributing. We
Mhm.
want to help
Mhm.
you too. And so, yes,
Yeah.
our banner is for the job seeker. Our banner
Yeah.
is for those who were impacted. But
Mhm.
just know you, sis, with purpose that
Yeah.
you've been sitting on and
Yeah.
wondering and
Yeah.
asking, we want to guide you to. So
Mhm.
I just wanted
Mhm.
to add that's really critical
It
that it goes
is.
beyond. Yeah.
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 You know, we are both women of faith, and it's anything that we do, we could, it's so infused in our DNA. We can't even, we know how to shape shift when we need, and use different jargon, but it's
Yeah.
just so infused in who we are. And so, I've been in this space where I've been talking a lot about the names of God and experiencing God.
Mhm.
And what I know is that every opportunity that we get to experience him greater always comes through some adversity.
Yeah.
And I think what I really want at the top of this conversation to be is, here's this big challenge that if we don't have aligned eyesight, we can
Mhm.
only see the negative. And we're not by any means dismissing the negative, right? We're like, hey, this is rough, this is hard, and
Yeah.
we have experienced it.
Yeah.
We're acknowledging that, right? But what we are saying is that with some slightly different glasses and with a different lens, to be able to say, huh, you know what? Because I know one of the opportunities that I lost, I had
Mhm.
literally just prayed and said, Lord, this is my work team. My hours I was working was so like, and I felt in my body that I could not sustain
Mm.
that pace. And
Wow.
but I needed the income, and so I was like, I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm a big girl, but
Yeah.
I was like, Lord, something has to break.
Yeah.
Don't you know? Within like 2 weeks, that opportunity was gone, but it circled back.
Mm.
in a manner that was more flexible with my
Yep.
schedule. I was like,
Yep.
okay, guys, I see what you're doing here. They
Yep.
called back like, we've been in the system and we keep bumping into you.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we think we need you, but just
Yes.
you give us your terms.
Yes. See, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna do this. I said I was gonna calm down today. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
so that's it. It's just to really like at the forefront of this, I want someone
Mhm.
to see that whatever the challenge is, the
Mhm.
job loss, the downsize, whatever, could this be an opportunity? And could and not to miss the opportunity.
Mhm.
That the door could be wide open and you could still just
Yeah.
be facing this way.
Yes.
The door is
Yes.
open right there. We are screaming out, hey, 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 there's a door. And that's it.
Because look, I wanted to run, but my knees are 43. But what you said was so key. And again, this speaks to why this is a God breathed organization. Navicor
Yeah.
will not be like anything anyone's experienced before because we are going to teach job seekers, teach aspiring entrepreneurs to
Yeah.
allow your gifts to make room for you versus the habit and the world system is you make room for your gifts. So
Yeah.
what that means is if you have to sacrifice time with your children, if you have
Yeah.
to sacrifice self-care, you do it so that you can work your gifts.
Yeah.
And that's not what because the what the word says. Your gifts make room for you.
And
So
they
that's
do.
exactly what that was.
Yes.
You had to free up your time.
Yeah.
You had to create a schedule that honors you, that
Mhm.
gives you back your day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yep.
now they're coming back to you saying, "Hey, we're going to work with your schedule. We're going to work with your pay requests and your comp." So I just wanted to throw that out there.
So listen, we hope that this is, like I said, just the beginning of many conversations.
Mhm.
We're going to come back next week and talk a little bit more about some of the specifics that we have planned inside of Navicore. We actually have a full course that we're going to be creating and a live experience when you get to go through that content with us, where we literally walk you through this. You just lost the job yesterday or
Mhm.
today.
Mhm.
What next? And we're going to
What next?
literally walk you through a very systematic plan that addresses your head, your heart, your soul, your
Mhm.
hands, your skills, and what to do next. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about that next week, but we would love for you to join our list. Now, there's two people that can really join our list, right, Tima? There's the
Mhm.
person who you are the transitioning employee. You are someone that has been impacted by layoff, downsizing. You need a new, you have been impacted. And so you're like, it's me. You're someone that we want to sign up for our list, but maybe you are the corporate professional. Maybe you're a decision maker in HR and you are someone who is having to work with transitioning employees and you need a resource for them, one
Yeah.
that is comprehensive, one that is holistic, that
Mhm.
really addresses everything they're facing, that will walk them through what to do next. And we're absolutely looking for people like you. Listen,
Absolutely.
I talked with someone recently who, she didn't lose her job, but she's the one that they come into the office to hear. And it's such a difficult thing as well. But what if you had this as a resource
Yeah.
to point them toward and say, hey, there's this incredible community called Navicore that will
Mhm.
literally walk you through what to do next.
Mhm.
So, either of those people we would love to connect with. Go to navicoreinc.com. You see it there. We'll put it in the show notes as well so that you
Mhm.
can connect with us, because we've got some great things coming.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, yes, we do. And I'm so glad that you spoke to both the both communities that we're here to serve. But I
Yeah,
think what's really important to leave with you is we want you to share this with your friends who have not only lost their job but who have lost hope, because
yes.
we want to restore that too. We're going to give
Mhm.
you all the skills. We're going to tell you how to upskill, how to,
Yeah,
brand yourself, what that resume needs to look like in this competitive market. But we want to first deal with you. Because
yeah.
if you get out here and look for a role and you are still broken and you are still wounded
Mhm.
from this life quake, it's going to show up. It's
Yeah.
going to be an uninvited guest to the interview and to those conversations. So we're going to give you all the resources and the know-how, but we really want to make sure that you're well. We want
Mhm.
to make sure that you're well. So share this link with someone, invite
Mhm.
them back next week because we are going to be here
Yes.
for a while, rolling
Mhm.
this out for you and
Yeah.
sharing more about our passion for helping you. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't have anything to add. That was the perfect close. I hope that you guys go to Navicore.inc, join our list, stay tuned, stay connected. We've got some incredible things coming. Shoot us a message. If you're like, hey, listen, I want to know, I want to have some conversation. I would love to talk with you about what you have coming up. We are absolutely looking to partner and collaborate. And
Mhm.
so thank you so much for tuning in for today's broadcast. We're going to
Yes.
see you guys again on next week. Right, Tima?
Mhm. Yes, we will be here same time, same
Yeah,
platform.
that's right. All right. See you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Bye.